What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I'm Michigan Sports Talk here. In this one, we go over Michigan's big signing day here, every commit that they signed, as it was quite a hectic signing day for a few Michigan commits as teams were pushing to flip them. We go over that, plus some still undecided commits like Savion Robinson and Julian Walker, the latest on them. So let's go ahead and get right into it here, but we'll first start with the news that came out today as special teams coordinator J.B. Brown has been dismissed from the program. According to ESPN's Pete Thamel, Brown spent the last 2 seasons in that role, and it is the first coaching staff move for second-year head coach Sharon Moore following the 9-3 season, as that was the move that they definitely needed to make. Special teams has been a weakness for the Wolverines the past 2 seasons, and a change definitely was needed. So just wanted to mention that. But let's go ahead and get into signing day here, as early signing day started today. It'll go until Friday, December 5th as well, as most of Michigan's class did sign today. However, there are some updates here. We'll first start in the wide receiver room, first with Travis Johnson, the 4-star from the state of Virginia, ranked 107th nationally. There was a light big push from Virginia Tech and James Franklin. However, thankfully the Wolverines fended them off. He did sign with Michigan, as he was scheduled to sign today at 4 p.m. Eastern time, but that wasn't without a big push from Virginia Tech, as he did have a long-standing relationship with new head coach James Franklin. So huge to keep him in the class, as he could be a wide receiver that makes an immediate impact for the Wolverines next season, standing at 6'4", and as a wide receiver that is just a playmaker. And then same thing with Savion Robinson, another 4-star wide receiver ranked 139th nationally on 24/7 Sports rankings, comes from the state of Texas, although it appears he won't be signing until further notice, he said on social media. Now, there were other in-state schools, especially like TCU, that were going after him. Others that have expressed interest is SMU and Texas Tech as well. Potentially Texas, according to E.G. Holland, another big threat to Michigan may actually be Stanford, as they were also a finalist for Robinson. So it seems like Michigan will have to fend off some of those schools, including schools like Stanford, TCU, and Texas Tech. So he most likely won't be signing today, but hopefully the Wolverines can get him signed either tomorrow or Friday and fend off those schools. And then a big headliner entering signing day here for the Wolverines was Julian Walker, a 4-star top 100 edge commit. South Carolina has been pushing hard to land him. According to Steve Wiltfong of Rivals, it appears North Carolina is shooting its shot with him as well here, so he won't be signing today. But right now the biggest threat is obviously South Carolina. Seems like he will be potentially deciding tomorrow. Wolverines have got to hang on to him. He's on the verge to being a 5-star on Rivals rankings. And a couple of recruits to keep an eye on here for the Wolverines. First, 5-star wide receiver Kelvin Russell. He chose Syracuse over Michigan in July. He has delayed signing with Syracuse. Michigan and Miami were both finalists, so that's one to monitor. I don't see Michigan making a huge push towards Kelvin Russell. The time that I'm making this video, Savion Hiter is yet to sign with Michigan. I don't know if he will sign today, but according to Steve Wiltfong of Rivals, there are minor contractual details still being worked out, and the goal is for him to be signed Thursday morning. So I fully expect Savion Hiter to be signed and in Michigan's class, and hopefully we get that at least by tomorrow. Alright, so hockey, basketball, football season in full swing, and using the Sleeper app you can make tons of picks. Thursday night football, we got Cowboys versus the Lions, and I'm taking George Pickens to have more than 76.5 receiving yards. I'm also taking Jahmyr Gibbs to have more than 72.5 rushing yards. And again, you can make tons of picks like this using the Sleeper app on your favorite players. And right now is a great time to get started, because Sleeper is offering a free $20 entry, no deposit required, plus first-time users still also receive a 100% deposit match up to $100 using promo code MST. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. So guys, link down below in the description. Go ahead, check out the Sleeper app today for yourself. But let's go ahead and talk about the commits that did sign today. Again, most of them did. First, Bear McWhorter started things off. 2026 3-star interior offensive lineman from the state of Georgia. Grew up an Alabama fan, but Michigan Grant Newsome did a great job landing him, a 6'3", 300-pound offensive lineman. And then a 3-star quarterback, Tommy Carr, obviously the grandson of former Michigan head coach Lloyd Carr and brother of current Notre Dame quarterback CJ Carr. Michigan recently just flipped him from Miami, Ohio, and he is rated as a 4-star on 24/7 Sports rankings. 6'4" quarterback from Saline, Michigan, and it was big for Michigan to get him because they also got the 4-star Brady Smeagol. He's a 4-star on 24/7 Sports composite rankings. 6'5" quarterback from the state of California, although he did tear his ACL. So the Wolverines taking 2 quarterbacks this class, both of them signed today. And then the big one, 5-star edge Carter Meadows signed with Michigan, a very athletic edge with freaky length, comes from Washington, D.C. He is ranked 6th nationally on 24/7 Sports composite rankings. He had a great senior season, and now the 5-star edge coming home to Ann Arbor. And the kicker, Micah Drescher, he officially signed. He is one of the top kickers in the country and will also participate in the Navy All-American Bowl. Michigan also locked in their long snapper out of Colton Dermer, pair of special team players signing with the Wolverines. And then the 6'7" offensive tackle and 4-star Tommy Froman signed today. Michigan flipped him from Miami, Ohio recently. Was rated as a 3-star, recently got bumped up to a 4-star on 24/7 Sports rankings. Has a huge frame for an offensive tackle, may be seen more as a developmental piece, and could become a great offensive tackle in the future with development. And Michigan recently flipped a 3-star interior offensive lineman, Adrian Hamilton, flipped him from Virginia Tech. He signed today as well, as he was one of the last offensive line targets on Michigan's board. And it seems like the Wolverines wanted to add a true center late in the cycle, and it seems they got one out of Adrian Hamilton. And the 4-star edge, Mikhail Blade from Chicago, Illinois, he officially signed with the Wolverines, another very talented edge in this 2026 class. He is a guy that could play both as an edge or even go inside if he bulks up. Has had some injury issues recently, tore his ACL his junior season and was limited his senior season due to a shoulder injury, but still a very talented player on the defensive line. And another one on the defensive line is the 4-star defensive lineman, Titan Davis, 6'5", 270-pound defensive lineman from the state of Missouri. He is ranked on every recruiting site, mainly on or in the top 100. He is ranked 114th nationally on 24/7 Sports composite rankings, and he's a guy that can play all over the defensive line, but most likely projects as an interior defensive lineman for the Wolverines. And it wouldn't be a Michigan football recruiting class without adding another elite tight end to the roster, and that is what they got out of Matt Ludwig, a 4-star tight end from the state of Montana. He officially signed with the Wolverines, 6'4", 250-pound tight end. And then along with him, 3-star tight end Mason Bonner also was signed with the Wolverines, a 3-star 6'6" tight end. Now this one's an intriguing one because he is very, very tall and has excellent ball skills. So 2 good tight ends in the class here for the Wolverines. And the 3-star edge Tariq Boney officially signed, comes from Washington, D.C. He is teammates with Adrian Hamilton and was a big factor in Hamilton coming to Michigan. I tell you what, Tariq Boney is one of Michigan's very underrated commits in this class. His senior season, he had 48 tackles, 20 tackle for losses, 12 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 1 blocked kick, 6 pass deflections. And the 3-star linebacker, Caden Ketchings, officially signed with the Wolverines from the state of Mississippi, and I believe he is just the 2nd player from Mississippi to sign with Michigan. Wolverines were able to flip him later in the cycle. And then the 4-star offensive tackle, one of Michigan's top offensive linemen in the 2026 class, Malachi Lee, has officially signed with the Wolverines. This was a huge get for Grant Newsome and Sharon Moore. Comes from the state of Hawaii, and he is a massive 6'7", 320-pound offensive lineman. And the 4-star defensive back, Jordan Deck, signed with the Wolverines. Comes from the state of Texas. Michigan flipped him from Baylor, a 6'3" defensive back that likely projects as a safety for the Wolverines, as the Wolverines wanted to get a tall, long safety. Jordan Deck is that. And then the 3-star wide receiver, Jalen Piles, also signed with the Wolverines, a quality route runner type of wide receiver and a great pass catcher. This is another guy who is very underrated. Michigan has recently been going after taller wide receivers. Jalen Pyle is on the smaller side at 6 foot. However, he finds a way to get open. And then the 3-star linebacker Aiden Reeder has officially signed with Michigan. Recently flipped him from Wisconsin. Comes from the state of Ohio. 6'3", 215-pound linebacker. And then another great one on the defensive line is Alistair Vallejo, a 4-star defensive lineman from the state of Texas, ranked 113th nationally on 24/7 Sports Rankings, 6'4", 300 pounds, and if you guys haven't watched his highlights, he looks exactly like a Mason Graham type of defensive lineman for the Wolverines, so huge to have him officially sign with the Wolverines. And then the 3-star linebacker Markel Dabney also signed today. Michigan was able to flip him from SMU in the summer, comes from Richmond, Virginia, played both sides of the ball in high school, was an athlete, so it was a very intriguing prospect there. And the 4-star cornerback Jamarion Vincent recently signed with the Wolverines. Michigan was able to flip him from Baylor. A huge get as they needed another cornerback in the class. They got it done. Ranked 168th nationally on 24/7 Sports Composite Rankings, and it comes from the state of Texas. And then the 3-star running back Jonathan Brown has officially signed. Comes from the state of Ohio, Columbus, Ohio. 6'1", 200-pound running back, as he was a nice addition to the class. The Wolverines wanted to take another running back along with Savion Hiter, and then obviously Travis Johnson also signed with the Wolverines as well. 4-star wide receiver. Again, there was said to be a push by Virginia Tech and James Franklin, but the Wolverines prevail and sign one of their best wide receiver commits in the class. He is ranked 107th nationally on 24/7 Sports Composite Rankings. Then the 4-star offensive tackle Marky Walbridge from the state of Massachusetts officially signed. A 6'6", 290-pound offensive tackle was another great pickup for the Wolverines on the offensive line. He is ranked 152nd nationally on 24/7 Sports Rankings. And the 4-star defensive back Andre Clark from Richmond, Virginia officially signed. He is ranked 213th nationally on 24/7 Sports Composite Rankings. 6'1", 185-pound defensive back, versatile defensive back that can play at cornerback, at safety, potentially even nickel for the Wolverines. So up to this point, Michigan has all of their commits signed in the 2026 class, except for Savion Hiter, although again, according to Steve Wiltfong of Rivals, there are minor contractual details still being worked through, and the goal is for him to be signed by tomorrow morning. And then Zion Robinson, Julian Walker, Michigan, trying to fend off some schools and keep them in the class and sign them. So everyone else, though, is signed and in the class. So pretty good signing day. Michigan got most of the commits signed. But with that, that's going to wrap up this video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to go ahead, drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more. If you are new around here, I greatly appreciate it. And other than that, we will see you guys in the next video. Go Blue.